Hello, this is Manuela, your guiding light, and this YouTube video is soul plan, revealing spiritual reason. So for every possible challenge or situation that you are facing in your lifetime, there is a spiritual reason for it. So we would say everything happens for a reason, and there are no accidents, which is true. You created a soul plan before you come down to earth with your guardian angels, with your team of your guardian angels, spirit guides, and yourself and your soul group. You created a plan, a map of what you want to go through in your life here on earth. So you planned everything, every relationship, every challenge, every lesson. You sign a soul contracts with people that are in your life at the moment. The one that you like and the one that you hate. So I begin doing readings, psychic readings. I begin working as a psychic medium and Reiki master in 2001. Around 2010, I noticed that a lot of my work was shifting or changing. I noticed that I was more pulled towards true soul readings. I never actually read the cards, the tarot cards. I was channeling always. I would look at the cards and I would receive the message from spirits, not from, I would not read the meaning of the cards. I would look at the cards and deliver the message from the spirit. Very often I would see like a scroll, like an old-fashioned scroll, my guides holding. Never really ask why. I was just continuing doing my work until after 2010 things started changing. A lot of predictions that I predicted I wasn't happy with. I predicted a lot of relationships that went completely wrong. And I started asking myself deeper question. Is it everything that we see with our third eye meant to happen? That's a good question. Because not just me, a lot of psychics, and you probably that watching this video, had a reading where it pushed you in the wrong direction. Where in a reading it said that you're meant to be with somebody, and that person turned out to be completely wrong for you. Or that you were meant to do some job and that turned out completely wrong for you. And then you would ask yourself questions, why? Why would your guides guide you towards that? So the deeper reason behind that, it's on your soul plan. So 2012, I begin my own shift. And I let go of the cards completely. I mainly begin to read soul plan. My guides showed me that I'm clearly reading Akashic records. That scroll that they were showing me, they trying to get my attention before, was them trying to tell me that I'm reading Akashic records, the soul plan. It was until 3 years ago that I completely understood the message and then my work completely shifted. Even with mediumship, I understood that we can change everything, even stuff that we planned on our plan. If we grow as a soul, we can change anything. You don't have to be in any relationship that it's not good for you. When you read a soul plan, when your soul plan is in front of you, you can see the purpose of that relationship. What is the soul lesson? And why are you meant to be in there? If you can learn that lesson without being in that relationship, and that would be the key. You can learn the lesson without going through a big challenge. The big challenges are there for you to help you to learn the lessons. But when you understand what lesson is coming ahead for you, what lessons you're learning, you can focus on learning that lesson in a simple little things in your life. You don't have to go through a big challenge. So I learned that. And as I said, my work completely changed. Even with the mediumship, I also learned that our loved ones from the other side are not our guides. Very often in a reading would come And a lot of psychics told me when I began to do this work that, your grandma or whoever passed away, they are your guides. Well, they're not. They're only little messages and helpers. They can't guide you completely because your loved ones from the other side only see what's next for you on your soul plan. They can't see completely your soul plan. They can't see exactly what you're learning, because never, when I was doing only mediumship readings, never in any reading it came to me what lesson are they learning and why they're meant to be in that relationship. It only said that this is the person that's coming in your life and that's where you're meant to be, but never said why. But now, when I open Akashic Records, when I look in a soul plan, I actually see why, what is the soul contract and what is the lesson in that relationship. And then it showed me that you don't have to go that way. So, which indicates to me that your loved ones from the other side, your family, your friends that passed away, cannot really guide you. They can bring you a little messages to show you what's next coming for you. But again, you have to see on your soul plan, why is that next for you there? Is it something that's going to bring you joy? Or is it just another big challenge? Your loved one from the other side will not tell you that, because they don't know that. So the easiest way to explain this is, even here on earth, we all have different energy vibration. So as we grow as a soul, the more we grow, the more we're spiritual, the higher energy vibration is. So the higher energy vibration, the more you can tap, the higher you can tap in a universe or in the other side. So in order to read Akashic Records, you have to have very high energy vibration, because that's the highest information that we can get. So it's designed with angels, with spirits. They all have different energy vibration. Your angels have much higher energy vibration than your loved one that's passed away. They are the ones with the lowest energy vibration. So that means they are not that much advanced. They don't know that much. Your angels are much higher energy vibration, your guardian angels. So they are in charge of you. So they know everything about you. Archangels are even higher energy vibration. That's why they call them archangels. They have higher energy vibration even than angels. So they know more and they can do miracles. They can do much more than your guardian angel can. Ascended masters, again, a higher energy vibration than archangels. So they can do even bigger stuff. So that is the difference. That's the reason we don't want your family that passed away to guide you, to take them as a guide. You don't want that. You want to speak and receive guidance from your guardian angel, the one that is in charge of you. So I learned that through my shift. And now, as I learn that not everything that we see in our third eye, it meant to happen. We can avoid so much. I don't call myself anymore psychic medium. I am psychic. I have psychic abilities, but I call myself intuitive advisor. Basically giving you choice, showing you what's on your soul plan, what choices you have, and helping you understand why you're going through what you're going through, helping you understand where your emotional trauma is coming and how to heal it. So that is my work now. That's what I do now. I am still Reiki master and I do healings, but I don't just predict the future anymore. I help to people and to souls to grow as a soul, to learn their lessons and to move forward quicker so they can grow as a soul and raise their energy vibration and live a better life. So I just wanted to give you a little brief explanation of soul plan and the difference between just being a psychic, predicting whatever is on a soul plan, and understanding why is that on your soul plan, what you're learning from it, what your soul lessons are, and what your soul contracts are with the people. So, so when you look your soul plan, regardless what sort of challenging situation you have, when you look on your soul plan, it looks completely different. And it makes so much sense. When you try to figure out problem by analyzing it, sometimes you just can't. But when you step back from it and you look on your soul plan and you see why you put it there, because you put it there, you plan to go through that. And when you look at it and when you understand why you did that and what it's that purpose and what does it serve to you, you can then relax, step back and say, aha, okay, and know exactly what you need to do in order to avoid the problem or to move forward. And sometimes it takes time. Just because you know exactly why you put it there and what you're learning from it, it doesn't mean that it's magic and you can just jump over it and move forward. No, it still takes time for energy to shift and for you to make those changes, for you to learn the lesson and make those changes that you need to make. But it's going to be much quicker than if you try to figure out with your own mind. This is the reason why some people are so stuck in a horrible marriage or in a horrible job that they hate for years, and they don't know how to move forward from it. But if you look in your soul plan, it's going to be much quicker. You will have understanding of what you need to do, what you need to learn as a soul, and how you can grow to move forward in your life and to make the changes in your life. So I would like to share with you a couple of examples of the challenges and problems that majority of people are facing here on earth, and I'll also will tell you how does it look on their soul plan, and what is it that they're learning and why they're attracted or why they put it there. So the major and the most interesting problem that people are facing in their life is not being able to conceive or to have children. Mothers that want to be so badly to be mothers and they can't conceive and they can't have children. So when you look on a soul plan, there's many different reasons why, and I would like to share with you a couple only. For example, I will not give the names. I will only call them couple A and B. Okay, so A, it's a female, B, it's a male. Okay, so we'll take the first scenario where this couple A and B, A female and B male, they never had children. They could not have children through all their life. They've been advised by me to adopt. They rejected that so badly. Soul A rejected, did not want to even think about it, seeing that as something really bad and will not raise somebody else's child. That was a big no. Anyway, years after I've struggled not having children, Soul B, male, decided to cheat. Met somebody else, another woman that has children, and stayed with her. It brought a really big drama. It brought so much negative emotions to both of them. Soul B, struggling to deal with his emotions, in seeing that he can't have what he wants here, so he jumped and went to have what he wants somewhere else, hoping and thinking that, we'll have children with somebody else. Anyway, the Soul B had child with somebody else. After going through so much trauma, they managed to become friends again. Soul A and B become friends again. Soul A accepted his new relationship and his new child and fall in love with his new child as well. What happens then? Soul B, male, end up quite ill, will not survive. And the mother of a child is not capable of taking care of a child. So the child will need to go in foster care or to be adopted. So soul A and B knowing that his time is coming up, is very worried who's going to adopt his child. So if you look at this scenario, you can see that this is a definitely karmic situation. Soul A and B refused it to adopt somebody else's child. So Soul B has his own child, knowing that will not survive with the illness, looking, hoping somebody will adopt his own child. So it's always the karma that teaches us the biggest lesson. So the soul contract for a lot of souls that can't have children, one big reason could be is because they meant to adopt another child first. If they sign on a soul contract that they're going to adopt a child and bring joy to a child that needs, which is the biggest blessing you can give. Adopting a child, it's the biggest blessing. It's something amazing that you can do on your soul plan. It's big, huge good karma for yourself. So if you sign up on your soul contract to do that, and then you refuse it, which majority of souls don't. Majority of us, there's only about 10% of souls, of people, that do what they sign up to do, or that they live the life that they sign up to live, that they plan on their soul plan. Majority of you are lost. Majority of you are lost. You're not living at all the life that you plan to live. So in this time, in this situation, soul A and B sign up a soul contract to adopt a child. And they didn't do it until the late dies in their years, in their life. When they become a bit older, he decides to go with somebody else and have child. And then he's diagnosed with terminal illness. And he needs somebody else to adopt his own child. That's a big one. That just shows exactly how the universe works. So if you sign up something and you didn't do, that's big. That keeps you very stuck. Stuck on your soul plan. And it's going to hit you with two huge lessons. We all have time prime, how long we can learn a lesson. And usually it's one cycle of life, which is 7 years. And if you didn't learn a lesson in 7 years, then universe is hitting you, or your guides are hitting you with big major traumas and challenges. So you would learn the lesson. So that was one scenario, which is majority of people it happens. Some people never adopt and just accepted that they're never going to have children, which is much better. It's actually much better than to go with somebody else and have child, because that's very wrong. That brings much more bad karma to the soul. So this is one scenario. Another scenario, which is a little bit longer, in this last case, scenario A, let's call it, the soul A and B, they didn't have any big soul missions, or they weren't healers or anything like that. They had major lessons just how to be parents. And that is the big lesson. That is the lesson for younger students, I would say, or younger souls. The first thing that we have to learn as souls, all young souls have to learn how to be a parents. So if they can't have children, that means they're still learning how to be parents. Now, a second scenario that I would call scenario B is where a couple A, female, and couple A, B are both healers. They both have healing abilities. Now, on the soul plan of A, very strong psychic abilities, very strong healing abilities, but also a big cross or block that it says in this lifetime she cannot do healing work. In the same time, she cannot have children. She's trying to conceive and have children. Now, somebody that has such a strong psychic abilities wants to do the healing work, very drawn to do the healing work, but in the same time wants to have children and can't conceive. She had a child from first marriage that was very, very violent, where she has to leave, and she left the child. So she left the child and a husband. So that was a big lesson there. In a past life, she did exactly the same. So in a past life, she left husband and a child. So in this early stage of this lifetime, she repeat the same mistake again, which means she's not learning. She repeat the same mistake again. So now she's trying to conceive and she can't. In the same time, her and husband, current husband, are both very strong healers and psychics. They are very drawn to that lifestyle as well. And they also want to have children. So you would say she could be torn here. Can she have both? Well, she has a big block in saying that in this lifetime she can't do healing work. Now you would ask why. The reason why, because every healer has to learn first smaller lessons being a parent. If you didn't learn being a parent, if you make some big mistake as a parent and neglected children, well, you can't be a healer. You can't be a spiritual teacher. You might be able to teach your family only about healing and how to help to them, but you can't actually be a healer and teacher to teach the world or to do a healing work. You can't. Basically, your qualification comes once you learn all the smaller lessons as a being a parent. If you learn that being a parent, then the doors are all open, and you, on your soul plan, it says you're ready to be a healer. And we're talking about doing a healing work, healing everybody, not just your family. If you didn't learn the lesson, being a parent, and made some really big mistakes, well, you can't do the healing work. You might be able only to teach your family and people that are around you, your children especially, but you can't do a healing work as a business, as a job. You can't. So this is where this couple are. In the same time, Soul B, a male, that has so much to heal and that has so much to work on, is not doing anything that he needs to do. So he's not growing as a soul. Soul A is doing a lot of healing and raising her energy vibration. So the energy vibration are like this now. In order for them to have children together, Soul B, male, needs to heal and raise his energy vibration at least close to Soul A. But he's not doing that. So in the same time, Soul B feel that the end is coming. The relationship is really struggling. There's a lot of arguments. So what's happening here? Soul A creating a similar situation as she always did in the past, in this lifetime and in a past lifetime, where she's in a violent relationship and hoping to have a child, wanting to have a child. So she's not conceiving for that reason. Universe is protecting her so she wouldn't make the same mistake again. So right now, she will not have a child with this partner because her guides created a soul plan where they're not going to allow her for second time or third time to make the same mistake again, to bring a child in a domestic violent relationship. It's not going to happen. Universe will not allow that. So the only way for her to have a child is to leave this relationship. So there's very much of different questions that Soul A would ask herself and everybody around her. So you have this wonderful couple that are both healers, that are soulmates, and can't have children. So you would say, these two could do a big healing work and have a wonderful child. Why can't they? Well, there's many reasons. Because the soul lessons are not learned. The healing that they need to do is not done. So everything you want in life doesn't come just for free. You have to do work for it. Even you wanting to change your soul plan, you have to do work for it. You can't just have a look on your soul plan and change it with your mind. Yes, the way it's changed, first by changing the way you're thinking. But then you have to do healing work. The soul needs to grow in order for you to change what you want on your plan and get what you want. So there's no work done here. So the scenario could be, or the options that Soul A has, to leave the partner and meet somebody else and have a child. Committing herself to be a good mother. Learn that lesson. And then maybe in a later stage of her life, if everything goes well, the block could be removed from her soul plan so she could do the healing work. If she grows as a soul, if she learns all the lessons. But until she completes this lesson as being a good mother and raising a child in a happy relationship, she won't be able to do the healing work. But the desire for healing work is there as normal to every healer, because knowing that you have that gift there, why can't you use it? There's always reason why can't you use it. So you need to look on your soul plan and ask yourself why. So that is another scenario. So if we look at this scenario, there is no way that this couple will actually be able to have a child. Not at this stage. And the timing, they are not going with timing as well. Because the timing is coming close to it. The closer you're coming to 7 years, you have a 7-year cycle to learn the lesson and to make changes to get what you want. If one person like Soul A already is doing it, done the healing, raised the energy vibration, waiting to conceive. But the Soul B, it's not. So there's this particular time that they have to stay in that sort of cycle where giving time to Soul B to make to do the work, to make the change. And it could be probably another year or two. And then if it doesn't happen, universe steps in and universe pushes the change to happen. Especially when it's about child to conceive. If child needs to be born in this lifetime, there's a lot of planning for that. Every soul that needs to reincarnate on earth needs time. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just bang, throws a soul in a body. No, it takes long time for the soul to come down to be able to get into mother's womb and be born. So everything is planning for that. And the Soul B, it's right now interfering. So, as I said, this could go either way. They could stay together and never have children. That is one option. That means she's not learning the lesson. The Soul A, it's not learning the lesson. The Soul B, it's not learning the lesson. When we want something so much and we know we can have it, it's on our soul plan, like Soul A, and we done the work and we sacrificing ourselves because somebody else didn't do the work, we begin to resent ourselves. So let's just say if this couple stay together, if Soul A stay with Soul B just to keep the relationship and decides not to have a child, well, the relationship won't survive anyway, because it's going to bring a lot of negative emotions towards Soul A within herself. Will resent herself. So that's an option for them to stay together. That means they're off their plan. A lot of people are off their soul plan. As I said, a lot of you don't live the life that you sign up to live. And a lot of souls do that. That means when you die, you cross over, you will repeat this time again. Hopefully, you will learn next lifetime. But they do have that choice to stay together and not to have child, but they will have a horrible relationship anyway. They will not be happy anyway. Because when you have a major lesson and you have so much on your soul plan that you sign up to do, and you're not doing it, well, you can't be happy. The soul is not content. The soul is really squashed. And it's squashing. The longer you're staying in the same place, scared to move forward and make changes, the more your soul is screaming out. So you can't be happy. So that is scenario B. And we look at scenario C. In scenario C, let's just say, for example, a lot of that happens on Earth. We have relationships relationships between partners, between husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend, relationship with children, a relationship with family, with friends, where there's a lot of lies, a lot of manipulation. People that lie a lot, people that manipulate a lot. They don't really like that themselves, but it's a pattern. It's like an addiction that it's there and they can't change. So they would sign a soul contract with a spiritual teacher, somebody that has courage to speak up and to point to them that they're actually lying. We heard a lot about narcissists, and logically we would teach that you should never uncover narcissists, because if you uncover narcissists, you are in a big trouble. Narcissists will not leave you alone. But some narcissists sign a soul contract with spiritual teachers that have courage to actually do that. Spiritual teachers that are quite old souls and sign up soul contract with them to help them to change. So it's the same. They have a time of 7 years minimum. Sometimes it can stretch to 10 years to create a situation where they're gonna lie a lot to a spiritual teacher, to want that person that they could be their sister, their friend, their partner. They're gonna lie and manipulate and backstab and do everything possible for spiritual teacher to point to them what they're doing, to see them, and to help them to change. If for that period of 7 years, and if it stretches even to 10 years, the lesson is not learned, the spiritual teacher is removed from it. So the spiritual teacher is bound by that soul contract only for 7 years. And most of the time, they could stay longer. They could stay another 2-3 years. After 7 years, especially after 10 years, they are not bound anymore by that soul contract. So those souls that are lying, the only way for them to change is possibly, if they uncovered, some of them that are ready to change will see that they uncovered and they begin changing. But majority of them not. So on their soul plan, their soul contract is, on their soul plan it says, well, you got the spiritual teacher for 7 years to help you to make changes. If you don't, then the spiritual teacher is free basically, has no contract that it's valid anymore, can actually move forward and leave you behind. Leave all the souls that sign a soul contract with spiritual teacher to actually teach them the lesson of changing and stop lying or stop manipulating, becoming more honest people. So after 7 years, that it's free. Regardless who it is it a mother or is it a sister or is it a partner, again, those relationships will end. And then what happens then? On their soul plan, it's shown that the spiritual teacher could not teach them lesson, they did not learn the lesson. So then it's up to their spirit guides, their guardian angels, to teach them with major lessons. So they will be hit with something major, something big that's going to happen, that's going to cover all their lives. something, illness or something that's going to hit them really badly, where they won't be able to lie anymore, when they have to be honest. So that is the time frame, 7 years, one cycle of life. The only exception is a children. And a lot of spiritual teachers will have children that again sign a soul contract with them. If they have a little bit of traits of lying and manipulations, they will sign a soul contract with parent that is a spiritual teacher. With children, the time frame, it's much longer. It's not only 7 years. Basically, because of the lesson, because if spiritual teacher learned the lesson about parenthood, which means that you never neglect your children regardless what they do. So that means the parent is bound by the soul contract for the rest of their life. You cannot walk away from children. Children could walk away from a mother or from a father, but a parent cannot walk away from the children. We're not saying that you can. It happens, a lot of people do, but it's a very bad karma. And somebody that is a spiritual teacher, that it's come here to teach somebody, it's very much aware of that. Which means that spiritual teacher learned the lesson and knows how bad karma is to neglect children. So will not do that. And that's why on the soul plan it will say, if there are children that needs to be taught a lesson, regardless what lesson is with your children, you are bounded by the soul contract for as long as they live. Because that is a major soul lesson that you're learning as a young soul. And you have to know it, basically, even when you're old soul, especially when you're old soul. So, any other soul contracts with anybody else? Go for 7 years. And if the lesson is not learned, universe is removing them and sending somebody else. Is the same with the partners, with your couple. If one couple didn't learn the lesson and the other one did, well, the universe will separate them, and the one that didn't learn the lesson can attract another partner that's going to teach them the lesson, or not. Again, they're going to go for the same cycle again, about 7 years. So 7 years, it's something that you are locked. Regardless are you married or you're just a boyfriend or girlfriend, marriage doesn't mean anything on your soul plan. Marriage has no meaning on your soul plan. If you have a soul contract with people, you are bounded. You are locked together. If you don't have a soul contract, you can be married and it's not going to mean anything. And that marriage will not last anyway. So, I hope you understand these 3 scenarios that I'm just sort of giving you a little bit here to understand how it looks on a soul plan. So if you have people that really lying to you a lot or backstabbing you a lot, if you look on your soul plan, you will see that they sign a soul contract with you to teach them the lesson, to help them to change. So it looks or feels much better than when you look logically, when you see what they're doing to you, and that hurts so much. And normally you would ask yourself, why are they doing this to me? What is wrong with me? But if you look on a soul plan, it's actually quite opposite. It's what is wrong with them. You will see that they are the one that needs to change. They are the one that sign a soul contract with you. And you probably have a soul lesson to stand up for yourself. And you need to speak up. So it works in both ways. If you're learning to stand up for yourself, you will attract a bully. Always a bully. To teach you to stand up for yourself. So I hope you understand this. And if you do have questions or comment, please write them down. I will reply to that. And I'm sending you lots of love and light. If you did like this video, please click on like or subscribe. Bye-bye for now.